My sister left her iPad unlocked. I swiped once and froze. Their family chat read $32,000 for this cringe wedding. Will Smile take the cash fly first class to Tokyo? Mom wrote he's too soft to notice. Dad added skip the rings. I want that $5,000 whiskey tasting on Mount Fuji. I just closed the iPad, smiled and changed every contract. 3 days later they got the call, not from me, from my lawyer. Their messages were exhibits now. Don't worry, he said. This is just the beginning. You really think he'll notice? That was the message from Lena, my sister, the girl who practically begged to help me plan my wedding. Let me do this, she said. You have so much on your plate. She called herself my coordinator, my buffer, my maid of honor with no title, and I believed her. Now I was staring at her iPad screen, unlocked, the family chat blinking with unread messages. She had stepped out to take a call, and I don't even know what made me glance. But one swipe, that's all it took. Lena $32,000 for this cringe wedding. Will Smile take the cash fly first class to Tokyo? I blinked once, twice. Mom's reply, he's too soft to notice. Then Dad skipped the rings. I want that $5,000 whiskey tasting on Mount Fuji. Another message came in. My auntie probably thinks the florist is real. I couldn't breathe. It wasn't even the money. It was the way they talked about me. Like I was furniture. A walking ATM, someone so eager to be loved that he'd never question a missing receipt. And I hadn't. Not once. I trusted Lena. I let her handle the bookings, the venue, the florals. I was tired. Busy. Getting married was supposed to be the joyful part. But she wasn't planning a wedding. She was planning an escape. The catering was fake. The florist deposit. Never made. The discounted videographer was her college roommate who hadn't filmed anything since a TikTok in 2021. They were shaving costs, my costs, to fund a family vacation I wasn't invited to. And the worst part? They were proud of it. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I didn't throw the iPad. I smiled. I picked up my phone. Called my lawyer. Opened every vendor contract Lena ever touched. Then I started rewriting everything silently. I wasn't acting in anger. I was acting in truth. 3 days later my family got a call. Not from me, from him. Their messages. They were exhibits now. Don't worry. My lawyer said when I hesitated. This is just the beginning. And he was right. It was. They didn't just steal my wedding. They've been stealing me my whole life. When Lena offered to help plan the wedding, it wasn't surprising. She was always the helper when there was attention to gain, credit to grab, or a way to make herself look important. But I was the one they leaned on for everything. Always had been. When Dad's back went out, I moved his furniture. When Mom had that surgery, I paid for the medication. When Lena defaulted on her credit card, I took out a personal loan to protect her score, and they never said thank you. Not once. Dad had a saying. A real man doesn't keep score. He just gets it done, which sounds noble until you realize what he really meant was shut up and be useful. He used to call me soft, too patient, too quiet. That tech job of yours, fancy screens but no backbone. He'd grunt after his second whiskey. Mom wasn't better, just quieter. You've always been calm, she'd whisper as if that were a compliment. Not like Lena. She burns too bright. But they still gave her everything. Their attention, their protection, their excuses. I used to think that was love. That giving until you break is just what family does. Then I got engaged and they woke up like it was Christmas. I told them I wanted something simple. Backyard ceremony, close friends, nothing fancy. But Lena lit up like she'd won the lottery. No. Absolutely not. You deserve more than this. Let me help. I know people. She took everything into her hands before I even agreed. Venue scouting, florist selection, caterer negotiations, all hers. I thought maybe this time she really means it. Then Mom said let her shine. It'll be good for her. And Dad added let her feel important for once. It's a family moment. I was already exhausted from work. I wanted peace. So I transferred her $7,000. That was the start. It became a money pit with no bottom. Week after week she sent me updates that sounded urgent but hollow. We need to lock in the venue $5,000 deposit or we lose the date. Catering needs a partial payment $3,500. Photo plus video bundle $4,000. It's a steal. Oh, and my dress for the event $1,800. It's symbolic. I'll pay you back. Spoiler, she wouldn't. Her favorite phrase. It's all with discounts. You're saving so much thanks to me. And somehow every week there was another rush. Another emergency. Another today only chance. No contracts. No invoices. Just trust. By the time I realized what was happening, I had already sent her over $30,000 straight from my account to hers because I believed she was building something for me, but she was building an exit plan for them. When I started to ask questions, the pressure shifted. Dad again with his commanding tone, "You're the groom. You don't stress your sister out. She's doing something good. Let her." Mom followed like a ghost. She showed me the daycare samples. They're beautiful. You should focus on your vows. Let her handle the rest. In the family group chat, Lena posted Pinterest renderings and mock-ups. Everyone reacted like trained seals. Wow. Such taste. Our boy picked the best sister ever. They called me Generous Joe and made emojis of champagne bottles. I smiled through all of it because I wanted to believe until the iPad. She left it on the kitchen counter while she stepped out for a phone call. One tap. Face ID still active. The Messages app was open. I wasn't looking for anything, but something found me. Lena, $32,000 for this cringe wedding. Please, will Smile take the cash and be on a rooftop in Tokyo drinking matcha martinis? Friend, won't he notice? Lena, he's dumb in love. Too soft to ask questions. He still thinks the florist exists. And there it was, a full spreadsheet. Excel neatly labeled wedding budget. Except the categories weren't cake or music. They were jail flights, business class. Four Seasons Tokyo, empty Fuji whiskey tour, Ginza shopping, duty free. Then I saw it, hotel booking 3 guests, my parents, Lena, travel dates the week of my wedding. And at the same time I checked the venue email on my laptop. They'd never received a deposit. The photographer. Never booked. The catering. Fake website. Even the DJ's contact led to a deactivated Facebook page. I stared at the screen. They weren't just incompetent. They never planned to give me a wedding. They planned a vacation. And I was the fool footing the bill. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I didn't even call her name. I sat down, took screenshots, pulled my banking app, exported every transaction. I called my lawyer the next morning. Can I cancel everything without tipping them off? Yes, he said. But it'll make noise. Let it, I replied. Over the next 48 hours I canceled every vendor I could find, blocked Lena's card from accessing my payment profile. Called the venue myself. Rebooked it in my name with a new date. Rewrote the contracts. Everything now ran through me. Scheduled a private meeting with the real planner I should have hired. All of it in silence. Lena kept texting me updates. Can you send $1,200 more? The band needs to book flights. Oh, and I need your opinion on centerpieces. Hydrangeas or tulips. I left her on read. I didn't confront her. I didn't accuse. I built my case because the Rio wedding hadn't been cancelled. It had just gained a new location. Court. And their smiles. They were about to look real different under subpoena lighting. They thought it was just a rehearsal dinner. A cute little pre-wedding celebration in a rented lounge space with champagne glasses and dim lighting. The music was soft. The catering was real this time. I made sure of that. Every chair, every napkin, every orchid was chosen by me. They thought I had forgiven them. They thought I was still the fool brother who confused kindness with loyalty. They were wrong. Lena walked in first in white, ironically flanked by my parents like some royal procession. Oh, this is nice, she said, spinning. Didn't know you had this kind of taste. Mom kissed my cheek. Dad gave me a smug nod like a man stepping into a restaurant he knew was already paid for. They were relaxed, giggly giddy. I let them eat, drink, pose for selfies, and then I tapped my glass. The room went quiet. Before we move on, I said I want to take a moment to thank the people who made this wedding possible. Lena beamed. Mom smiled. Dad adjusted his cuffs like a CEO waiting for applause. I clicked the remote. Behind me the screen lit up. Slide 1. A screenshot of Lena's chat. $32,000 for this cringe wedding. Please. Will Smile take the cash and be on a rooftop in Tokyo drinking matcha martinis? Gasps. Slide 2. An Excel file color-coded titled honeymoon_okio.excel sex. Under budget it listed. Business class flights $13,200. Four seasons Tokyo $7,000. MT Fuji whiskey tasting $5,000. Ginza shopping $3,800. Extra $3,000. Slide 3. Hotel reservation for 3 guests. Names Lena, Margaret, Mom, Ronald. Dad. Dates exact same week as the wedding. I didn't say a word. Just let the room breathe it in. People were frozen. Mouths open. Forks midair. I didn't want to hurt them. I just wanted them to finally see what I saw. Wait, Lena began, her voice small, brittle. This isn't what it looks like. I cut her off. No, Lena. It's exactly what it looks like. You stole from me. You lied. You plan to vanish with my money while smiling for wedding photos. She laughed, the last defense of a crumbling queen. It was going to be a surprise, a gift trip. You were going to come too eventually. You canceled the florist. You never booked the venue. The photographer blocked you. She looked to Mom for help. Mom's lips trembled. She whispered, sweetheart, maybe not here. Here's perfect. I said you hurt me in silence. I decided to tell the truth out loud. Dad stood, son, that's enough. Don't turn a family matter into a circus. I turned to him, calm. You mean like this? I clicked again. Slide 4. His message in the family chat. Skip the rings. I want that $5,000 whiskey tasting on Mount Fuji. He froze. And for the first time in my life, so did he. There was movement behind me. My lawyer stepped forward. He was dressed like a guest, drink in hand. Apologies for the interruption, he said smoothly. But just a quick note, the messages you're seeing have been entered into a formal case. Refund, litigation, theft of funds, and misrepresentation. Expect to be contacted soon. He handed out manila envelopes. One to each of them. Mom didn't even open hers. She just stared at the table, hands shaking. Lena. She tore hers in half, screaming. You think this makes you strong? You're pathetic. You just made enemies out of your family. I smiled. You were never my family. Just people who cashed my kindness like a check. The room was dead silent. Then someone clapped. It was my fiancée. She stood beside me, eyes steady. I told him to walk away, she said to the guests. But he said no. They'll just do it again. This time I ended. I didn't storm out. I didn't make a scene. I just walked to the door, held it open for my future wife, and left them in the silence they created. Behind me the screen stayed on. The last slide read, this wedding is now under new management. And me. I was finally free, but freedom has a cost, and I was ready to send the bill. While they scrambled to recover their image, I was already on the phone with my lawyer. No rage. No threats. Just documents. They wanted silence. They were about to get a courtroom full of it. The court documents went out on Monday. By Thursday their bank accounts were frozen. No warnings. No calls. No explanations. My lawyer moved like a storm. Fast, clean, brutal. He filed the suit for full reimbursement. $32,000 plus punitive damages for emotional distress. The claim? Premeditated deception and fraudulent misappropriation of funds under the guise of familial cooperation. They called it a family disagreement. We called it what it was: organized theft. This wasn't revenge. This was protection for my future, for my peace. Lena was the first to crack. She messaged me at 3:17 a.m. Let's talk one-on-one. No lawyers. Then you're destroying your own mother with this. I left her on read. That silence. It screamed louder than anything I could have said. By Friday my lawyer served her employer with a full disclosure packet. Not for drama, for legal diligence. They had the right to know an employee under investigation for financial fraud was handling project budgets. Her work email was deactivated within hours. Dad's accountant was next. Turns out some of the gifts I had given them over the years were filed through shady tax write-offs. My attorney, would you like us to pursue restitution for prior family loans as well? I didn't even blink. Yes. Then the social spin began. Lena posted a black and white selfie with the caption, "Some wounds you never see coming." I did what I could. I just wanted to help. And Sharon commented, "You were the only one who cared." Then the rebuttals hit. Screenshots, documents, payment histories, not for me. From the court filings, people reposted everything with hashtags like #FamilyFraud and #WeddingScam. No one believed her anymore. Mom tried the martyr card. I only ever tried to keep us all together. She called relatives crying. I don't even know who he is anymore. Dad. He got drunk and messaged me. "If you think money makes you a man, you're softer than I thought." I didn't respond because here's the thing. They fed on my need to belong. They survived off my silence. Now I was feeding them their own medicine. I didn't make a video, didn't write a post, didn't do an interview. I didn't owe the world an explanation. I changed my number, blocked every single one of them, left the family chat, never re-entered. 2 weeks later we won the preliminary hearing. The judge was direct. Intentional misrepresentation, coordinated misuse. The plaintiff's evidence is airtight. A lien was placed on Lena's condo. My parents were added as co-defendants. My lawyer called me after. "You're now the quietest person in the room and also the most dangerous." One night my fiancé asked me, "Do you ever think about saying something to them?" I looked at her, thought about it. No. I'd said enough. They'd weaponized my silence for years. Used it to mock me, control me, exploit me. No. My silence wasn't weakness. It was power. And in that silence they drowned. Some people seek revenge to feel alive. I sought silence to feel real. It's strange what peace sounds like after years of noise. The kind of noise that wears your name like a chain. That guilt trips you into giving more. That calls betrayal, duty, and theft love. After the lawsuit, after the last slammed door, the last "he'll come around" message, there was just quiet. And for the first time in my life, it wasn't terrifying. It was mine. We got married. No chandelier ballrooms. No fireworks. No leanness. Just us on a hilltop beneath a crooked oak tree and clouds thick with summer light. I wore a suit no one judged. She wore a dress she actually liked. No one toasted in my name unless they meant it. No photographers ghosted. No deposits vanished. No one lied. I walked away from that ceremony not just married but rebuilt. Lena unraveled first. The day the verdict went public, she went offline. Gone were the influencer vibes, the curated grids, the fake inspirational quotes about healing and rebirth. All that was left was a gray profile with an old default pic in the word recovering. Ironic. She lost her job within a week. Her employer didn't comment publicly, but word spread fast. Risk of reputational damage. Budget mismanagement under legal review. She tried pivoting to freelance. Wrote long-winded DMs to old friends about how he set me up. Told one ex-colleague I had manipulated the screenshots. Another colleague messaged me privately. "She's digging her own grave. You just showed us the shovel." Last I heard, she was answering phones for a third-rate logistics company and fighting with her landlord over unpaid utilities. Part of me wanted to feel sorry. But then I remembered she faked an entire wedding to steal money for whiskey tastings. That cured it. Dad folded in silence. I expected rage, lawsuits, loud declarations of honor. What I got was nothing. The accountant dropped him. 3 clients withdrew. He stopped showing up to his usual cigar bar. Apparently someone taped the court filing to the men's room door. A contact sent me a photo of it. "Looks like your old man got demoted to cautionary tale." He never responded to the court's restitution offer. Never replied to my lawyer's emails. Just faded like smoke. No thunder. Just evaporation, which made sense. Everything he built was made of air, ego, intimidation, control. Take away fear and there was nothing left. Mom tried gentleness. She sent me a handwritten letter, blue ink, shaky cursive. I didn't know the details. I just went along with what your sister wanted. I thought it was safer that way. Safer. Like my pain was some tornado best avoided. Like silence protected her more than truth ever could protect me. She ended with, I hope you find your peace. Maybe one day we'll talk again. I didn't write back. She sent me a birthday message 3 months later. Just a candle emoji. I blocked the number. No more half words. No more neutral parties. No more let's not make things worse. Because pretending not to see isn't innocence. It's participation. People asked if I missed them. Let me be clear. I missed the version of me who didn't know better. The guy who believed that loyalty meant survival. That being quiet meant being strong. That version died in a fake wedding I never had. The men who rose from it. He doesn't miss anyone. I didn't go on a talk show. Didn't write a memoir. Didn't trend under a viral hashtag. I got a dog. I fixed my spine. I changed my number. I updated my will. And I left instructions that none of them, not a single one, be notified in the event of my death. Not out of spite. Out of clarity. Last Tuesday I passed a little bistro downtown when I used to visit with my parents. We'd sit in the corner booth, order overpriced olives, and pretend we liked each other. Now the windows were fogged. The lighting was different, but the same sign was taped to the door. Reservations only. No exceptions. I paused. Smiled. Same. Then I kept walking and didn't look back.